Hey guys, it's your boy MKS here, back with part 2 of this list. I hope everyone's well. Hope people checked out part 1 and enjoyed it, and we'll look out for part 3. I'm wearing my Intertop for this. Well, I was wearing it for part 1 as well, but it was under my tan top, so you probably wouldn't see it. But yeah, I got this from Milan itself, not from the stadium, but from like a shop nearby. Anywho, yeah. So my mum got me this top. Actually, I'll give her credit for that, even though she annoys the heck out of me. But I'll give her dues. She does do that for me, so I should be a bit more grateful. So, anywho, obviously this is part 2 of my selfish list or selfish dreams for Italian football. Hope people enjoy it. It's a bit of a fun one, just talking about football, because as I say, I often mention this, so sorry for repeating myself, but I think it's important to have fun as well as some of the serious stuff. So here goes. Number 11. I hope that Italians will. I hope both Italian football, again, whatever ideas I apply for Italian football can be applied for Celtic and vice versa. But I hope that Italian football will get loads of fans around the world and increase its fan base. Sorry, in other words, and supporters and whatever, especially in Asia, which is a huge market, and compete with the Premier League and other leagues, and especially the Premier League, which is, I suppose, the richest league, and especially get more fans in Asia and improve relations with the rest of the world through football, and like train with other people and get along better. And I forgot to mention in point number 8 of my last video, when it comes to migration to Italy, I think that Italy should give priority to, 1, obviously people who come in legally, 2, those who have a historical connection to Italy, like those who are from countries that are colonized, basically like Tunisia or Libya or places like that. And number 3, those with a talent for football and those who could contribute to football. So I love Italian football to become the number 1, and as I say, improve, help them to be more united and create networks between Italian football and Celtic through playing together and having academies together and like training together, especially at youth level, and also Italian football and French football somehow. I know they don't always get along, but I love them to get along better, and like with what they have in common, both being Mediterranean nations, both being republics, and both having the tricolour and things like that. So also looking at what they have in common, what Italian football can learn from France about how it did so well with its migration and things like that, like in terms of football anyway, and it yielded positive results. And hopefully new migrants coming in can help Italian football to have more talented players as well, like more options as well, and hopefully that will create some own advantages. And I hope I'll stop losing my train of thought. But yeah, so like I thought of like Forza France, which would be like a connection between Italy and France, where it improves relations through football, and they train together and practice together and stuff like that, help each other to practice, as well as other Mediterranean nations. Don't know why I did that equipment, but Eurasian, transcontinental, Mid-Eastern and Mediterranean nations, things like that. Number 12, again, I hope Italians will practice as much as possible and be proud of their team, and they'll be proud. There'll be a lot of pride in Italian football again, hopefully winning more trophies like World Club Cups, and before that, like obviously European Cups, Europa Leagues and things like that, Champions Leagues and things like that. So hopefully that will create a lot of pride, and also like new owners coming in and sponsors and things like that, to invest as much money as possible. I hope that by making videos like this, and like if there's Twitter and YouTube pages, Google, websites, that's what I mean, sorry, websites and YouTube videos and things like that, and groups that talk about Italian football, hopefully it'll get more trending, which will hopefully increase its brand value. 13, sorry if I'm repeating a lot of these ideas, and I know, as I say, I know there's a lot of stuff about Italian football that's known as being a bit unethical, like it's known to have a lot of cheating or things like that, which I hope to change, like match fixing and all that. Number 14, I hope that there'll be like football for good, where they'll like Serie A and even some of the lower leagues perhaps getting involved, which will hopefully help them to practice more and hopefully raise their profile and help them out as well. I'd love to have even sponsors investing in grassroots football and lower leagues like Serie B, and I think it's called Liga Calcio, some of the lower level teams. So that will help the game in Italy generally, like especially younger players and all that, academies, and possibly honouring the teams that have the best academies and all that sort of stuff. But again, having football matches on YouTube, which will fundraise, and that sort of thing. Number 15, again, I hope that Serie A will encourage unity, like all the teams, fans from different Serie A teams to be, when they're playing in the league, be in competition, but when they play other teams from other leagues, they will be more united, and people will talk about how that can help their own individual team. Like, say, for instance, a team like Roma, if they don't like Inter, for instance, if that was the case, then they might not want them to do well against like a team like Man United or Man City or whatever. But if they do well, then it helps all the Italian teams like Roma itself and Lazio and whatever, Sampdoria and whatever other Italian teams, because it'll make Italian football look better, which obviously means if you're in the league, you'll look better and bring back some of those glory days, like the 90s and things like that. So I hope that as many Italians and Italian football fans and people from the diaspora and things like that, and my fellow Anglo-Indians and people who are I'm not sure if I can get dyslexics to do so, but maybe like as many dyslexics as possible at least, and as many people as possible, I hope to encourage to like support Italian football in terms of teams like AC Milan, Inter Milan, Roma, and whatever other Italian teams, club team level, at club team level doing well on the international stage, because that will help Italian football look better, it'll help attract sponsors, it'll help financially, and that success hopefully will be shared with Italian teams generally. Number 16, I hope they look at like Italian football. The Serie A will look at what it can learn from the Premier League and other leagues around the world, and see what it can do to increase its brand value and be more entertaining and get more fans, and find ways what it can learn from the Premier League, what works for the Premier League or La Liga or the French League, the Ligue 1 or whatever it's called, and whatever other leagues around the world, so that it can learn those things or learn as much as it can, even from business or other areas, to like how to attract investors, how to attract sponsors, owners to the clubs or whatever else, to make Italian football as good as possible. Number 17, I often talk about having this imagination where like as many wealthy Asian business owners and even governments as possible would invest in Italian football. And my imagination would be, and again, whatever ideas I have could apply to Celtic, would invest and make Italian football like a £1 trillion league or something like that, or $1 trillion league at least, maybe even £1 trillion league, and have as much money as possible. But like imagine if a Chindian partnership and people from Malaysia, India, Indonesia, Singapore, Philippines, Thailand, even Vietnam, possibly even Iraq, could invest into Italian football and help it to become as rich and wealthy as possible. I also dream like for politicians to give the best tax exemptions and all that for both Italian football and Celtic, especially with Celtic. It started as a charity and does a lot of charitable work and helps people like homeless or disadvantaged or poor people within Glasgow, which is a deprived area. So I'd love them to pay the least amount of tax and get funding from a lottery or funding from the government itself, which will counterbalance some of the taxes they pay, which can help them to help homeless people, but also keep the club doing well and support young people in Glasgow. And again, for Italy, similar things like as much tax exemptions and incentives to bring in overseas owners and encourage them to and investors to buy Italian football clubs and invest in Italian football academies, footballs, training equipment, all that sort of stuff. And number 18, hopefully other people out there will share my passion and ideas, and Italian football fans will come together, and again Celtic fans, and in the future like Italy and Celtic will work together, and I'll have ideas that I can be proud of. Number 19, again, hope they'll do fundraising for things like supporting African software and that sort of thing. And number 20, hopefully again they'll do football for good generally, so they'll help as many poor people as well as possible, but also ensure that they have success on the pitch and train young players. And again, like hopefully the ultras or other people around will be encouraged to like train younger players, so that they can feel proud to train younger players, and hopefully through football then cut crime or violence or things like that, and instead be involved in football, like get success on the pitch. And if the opposition kick you or push you or do something bad to you, then the best success is revenge. The best revenge is success. So put the ball in the back of the net and scoring more goals and things like that. And hopefully Italian football will also be more attacking and all that sort of stuff. So I'd love to know what you think as ever. I'm out. Peace and love.